Hello and welcome. Now I'm going to be sharing with you my February budget and breakdown, as well as stuffing all of my sinking funds and my everyday envelopes I bring with me in my wallet. So let's just jump straight in. I always work with the income I made the month previously because I am self-employed and I'm not really guaranteed how much I'm going to make each month. It really changes and varies a lot. So that's just sort of the safest way I set myself up. So I made last month $8,715. I minus 25% for taxes as well as business expenses because I'm self-employed. I am responsible for taking out my tax and doing all those things as I don't have an employer. So my net income is $6,536.90. I am working to try and save as much of that as possible. That is the point of me doing this cash envelope system, because in next month actually is where I'm going to the States and I'm going to go down to a stipend check because I'm going to be studying and doing like a practicum volunteer internship as a part of my studies. So you'll see my monthly stipend check will be around $220, which will be next month's budget. So we'll see how that changes in the next few weeks. So 70% of that I want to save, 30% is what I budget out. So 30% of this $6,500 gives me $1,960. I don't really worry so much about the change amount because obviously it says $1,961.07. So I always just drop that and I don't worry. This is how much I'm going to budget out. I keep this amount in the bank just because these expenses all come out on my card. So bills, gas, and eating food with my clients. Then the cash that I am going to budget out. So once I minus these figures from this amount, I get $1,206.85. Now I do have a lot of rollover from the previous month, so let's pull that out now. This is always really fun when you get some rollover. You feel like you've been really successful with your budget. So it says I have 265 from my math, so I've got 30 from miscellaneous left over. I have eating out. I actually have a lot, so I have eating out. I also have this. Eating out, I have $150. I really didn't spend hardly anything in January eating out. So I budgeted $200. I have $150 left over from January. Then for my cat, I have $15 left over from her. And groceries, groceries was all spent. Yeah, groceries was all spent. All those are my everyday envelopes. And I also have 70 left over from my internet. I thought I had to pay my ending contract fee plus the next month's amount, but I actually was able to save $70. So I pretty much ended my internet early because I'm going overseas, and I had some data left on my phone, and I thought that would be a good way to save some money. And I wasn't sure if I paid ahead with my contract or if I paid for the month I previously had. So I put in $70, but I actually didn't need to pay that. I only needed to pay $16 to end the contract. So that was really good because I got an extra $70 left over. So that gives me $1,550 to budget out with everything. So let's jump into it. We'll do the envelopes I keep in my wallet first, as per usual. So first we have eating out. Now I have budgeted $300 for that because last month, like you saw, I saved $150, and because this is my last month in Australia, I'm going to be doing a lot of catching up with people and just saying goodbyes, having goodbye lunches and coffees and just stuff like that. And also my good friend, she's moving down to Melbourne, so we're gonna be doing a couple of goodbye dinners at the beginning of February. So that is $300 there. Then we've got groceries. We're going to be doing $200. Same as usual, I do the system whereby I have a hold envelope and then I have the one that goes in my wallet because I don't feel comfortable carrying all the cash on me at once, and as I need it throughout the month I will pull from this envelope. But yeah, no, as I give $200 for groceries, I go with about $50 a week. Usually eating out is just $200, but I'm doing $300 because special circumstances. My cat is going to be getting $40 for her food and litter and anything that she needs for the month. Then we have miscellaneous for $80, $50, $60, $70, $80. yeah, miscellaneous is just a good one to have because like if I buy random things in it, like I bought some laser hair removal last month, another session of that, and I also bought a new phone screen protector, so that's what the miscellaneous category is for, because yeah, it's just easier to have something like that than trying to always pre-plan everything you're going to buy. That just gets a bit too complicated. So that is the wallet done. The everyday carry expenses. So let's move on to the sinking fund. So the first sinking fund I have is travel. Now I was planning to go down to Melbourne with some friends, but as I'm moving overseas, I've gotten really overwhelmed. I get really anxious and stressed about moving, and it was just too much for me to do a trip before I went away. Now I am adding 30 to this because I have saved up, I think it's now 450 in this fund, and I'm going to allocate this to something. I just don't know what. I think I might save it for a little trip or vacation when I get over to the States and when obviously it becomes safer to travel and move around. So I've added 30 to travel. Experiences, we're going to add 70. 50, 60, 70. I actually don't think I spent anything in experiences this month, so this one's just sort of slowly building up as well. I've got 200 now in my experiences one, so this is like to go to the movies, to go to any dance performances, just different things like that. But yeah, January was kind of a quiet month because obviously you do so much during the Christmas and holiday time. So moving, that's what's going to be happening at the end of February, so I'm going to be adding an extra 250 for that. That's just for accommodation around when I am going overseas. Last month I also had to get some blood tests for tuberculosis because this was a requirement of the school that I'm going to study at. So that gives me 400 in moving. And the next one we've got is self-care. I'm putting 25 in this one. Let's do that with smaller bills actually. So self-care is kind of a bit of a random one. It's just one that I wanted to have whereby like if I wanted to go have a massage or just go to the spa with a friend or just do something sort of nice in that way. I mean, maybe I could pull that from experiences, but I actually wanted to actively have something that I'm working towards that is just to take care of myself and do something nice. So that's why I have a separate fund for that, and that now has 70 in it. Clothing, I am adding 220. I did spend a bit on clothes last month because what did I do last month? Oh yes, I bought 2 dresses, and so I did spend a little bit out of that. I spent 60, and also I'm going over to the States. I'm going to be in upstate New York, so it's going to be really cold, and my goal is when I get there is to find a nice winter jacket. So I've got 260 in that now, and that will probably mostly all go to a winter jacket because that's sort of the only thing I need, and possibly snow boots, but I'm hoping that the snow calms down by the time I arrive at the end of February. We have 25 for toiletries. I'll just do that in small notes again as well, because I'm just kind of using the bills that I have left now. And the next video I'm actually planning to film is going to be a bit of a confusing one because I've got to try and turn all of my sinking funds into American money because, you know, just not going to be able to use Australian when I get there. So that's going to be a video that I thought I might film because I thought it could be interesting. Yeah, maybe let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that. If not, that's also totally fine. It's something that I'm going to have to do anyway. Gifts, I'm adding 62, 50, 60. So that gives me 130. I'm not quite sure what gifts I will get, but it's just nice to have that. And you know, if you wanted to treat a friend or take them out for a meal or something, that's got the possibility in this fund. Health, I am adding 55 to. Yeah, this one is pretty good to go. I'm going to use some of the, actually, well no, that's going to come from the moving file, but I'm going to use a bit of money to get some insurance just for the week kind of within the travel time that I'm going. But then when I get to the States, I will have health insurance, so I should be good to go. I do want to just keep this though because I may potentially need to go and catch up with my therapist again when I'm over there, because I really want to see her anyway. And then I thought, well, you know, I can't really ask this of the school to pay for it. It's a confusing system. We'll talk more about that when I get there. But so I thought I wanted to keep some in health just for my own benefit, you know, because if I felt like I did need to catch up with that person and talk about my mental health and stuff like that, I would just be able to do that myself. I could ask the school at a certain point, but if I wanted to within the first 6 months, I think it's more appropriate that I pay for that myself. So the last is my laptop, and I'm putting quite a bit through towards this because, like I said, I'm going to a situation where I'm not going to be making much money, and I want to still keep funding this laptop in case it does die on me while I'm in the middle of my studies. So we've got 185, so 50, 60, 70, 85, which brings me joy because it means that I appropriately counted out my cash. So we have, this is a messy, messy system. There we go. That's everything there. So that gives me 185. So there we go. That is all of my sinking funds and stuffing for the month of February. I hope you found this video interesting in some way. Yeah. Alrighty. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.